Right on, brother. How you doing again? I'm glad you're back on the show. I forgot your name.
It's Matthew.
Matthew. Thanks, Matthew. So before you start, how are you enjoying the program?
It's awesome. I enjoy it a lot.
Can you tell me, do you guys have other programs that are like this inside of the jail?
No, they're just more cognitive behavioral classes.
So is it helpful for you to listen and learn from people who were in jail and in prison?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to look for.
Pay attention more if you've been in there.
Good. So I'm glad you came up. We have 20 minutes more in the program today, so I'll give you as much time as you want, brother.
Yeah, my question is, I want to go back to school for psychology and stuff, right? But I think that I can go ahead and help people just because of my life experiences with drugs and being in jail and prison. So I just want to know, how would I go about talking to somebody to try to go ahead and like either volunteer and do it? Because I don't mind. I don't have to get paid. I can do something else to get paid. But I just want to know, how would I go about going to maybe like maybe a rehab or a facility to where I could talk to other addicts and stuff.
Okay. I think that's a great question. But I do think you have to get paid, right?
Right.
I really think you have to get paid.
Eventually, yeah.
No, I think you have to figure this out. These are steps that you have to think. You should never be ashamed of wanting to earn an honest living.
Right.
Okay? That's just a fact. I get paid, right? I might not get paid by you, but I'm going to get paid. And I am very honest about that. I don't think that anybody in jail or prison should be ashamed to say, I want to make an honest living.
Right.
Okay? Now, that doesn't mean you have to go get a job. You may go get a job. There's nothing wrong with going to get a job if you can get a job. I've always looked at it and said, I won't be able to get a job. So I got to figure out, how am I going to make my own money? And I do it in a lot of different ways. Okay? I will go to business owners and say, well, this show is sponsored by CBD TV.
Right.
Okay? So how did that start? It started because I went to a big CBD company, CBDFX, and I told them there's a problem in society. People in jail and prison have questions just like Matthew just asked. Okay? And they need to get an answer, and they need that answer from somebody who's done it. Well, Matthew just said, I want to hear from somebody who's been in jail or prison who's done it. Isn't that what you just said?
Sure.
So I'll take that message and I'll go sit with the CEO of a company. And I'll say, here's what we need to do. Will you allow me to do it and do this for the good of society? And the owner of this CBD company said, yes, I will allow you to do it. How do you want to do it? And I said, well, let me start a new brand called CBD TV. And he said, well, do you have any money? And I said, well, I'm going to get other partners to help me. So I went to other business leaders. I said, hey, let's start this, and I'm going to do the prison part. You guys can start this, but I'll build this relationship. So I didn't have to come up with any money. All I had to do was be authentic and show them. This was a roundabout way of me being able to get the resources I needed to bring this program into jails and prisons. And whether they pay me or not, I'm going to do it, because I may be able to build a business out of this, but I might not. And that's okay too. But I'm never ashamed to say I need to make money, because I've got to pay insurance. I've got to pay for real estate. I've got to pay for fuel and utilities and contribute to the economy. That's what being a capitalist is all about. So I want you, Matthew, to make money.
Right.
All right? So when you ask, how do you do it? I can tell you, I don't really know. But I don't know how to build that kind of a business. But here's what I do know. There's a process to getting there. And that process is a machine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to two famous people that I know that were also formerly incarcerated. And both of those two famous people also wanted to help people that had addiction and substance abuse problems. Actually, I'm going to go to three people. I know three people. One of those people is going to tell the story of how he used his time in jail and prison to become a licensed addiction therapist. He's going to tell you that story. because I know he will. He told me he would. So that meant he went and got a GED, he got a college degree, and he got a master's degree, but he was serving 16 years in prison, so he had time to do it. But simultaneously, he interviewed other people in jail. He worked as a mentor in the jail. He got a lot of real-world experience. And when he got out, he built these relationships, and they hired him and gave him a job as a director of a substance abuse treatment center because of the enormous value that he could provide. So it'd be good for me to give you that. That's one pathway, Matthew, to get it where you build a career and you get a W-2 paycheck for dispensing your knowledge and bringing value to the lives of other people. That's one strategy. The other two people I know, they took a different approach. They took the approach of Joe Guerrero, who started the After Prison Show. They don't charge anything, but they've built this massive following by just doing work every day and recording the message of what it was like to be in jail, what it was like to have substance abuse problems, and how they overcame it. And they film new videos every day, and those videos are 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and they give commentary, and they teach from that. Well, no consumer pays those people. But because they've built an audience of more than, a million people watching their show, other companies pay to get their products online, just like when you watch television. When you watch television, you have to see advertisers, right? And those advertisers are watching you, and they're paying the content creator. So if you want to do this while you're in jail, that's one pathway. That's one pathway for you to be successful. It's one pathway for you to be able to support yourself, but without charging any money. Okay? You could do that, Matthew. But in order to do that, you could start taking some steps right now by writing out a journal, interviewing other people who have problems with addiction. You could write out a course. You could write out stories. You could write out what you're seeing in jail. You could write out how hard it is for you. And then when you come home, you would be farther ahead. That if you wanted to pursue the path of these two leaders, I don't know if they will come on the show, but I'm going to send this video and I'm going to ask them, hey, here's a guy in jail. Your name is what? Matthew. So say it. So you would like to learn how to build a platform to teach people about substance abuse. Just ask the question, because I'll send this in. Say it.
I just want to know how you help people with addiction problems and how you get started.
Great. So I'm going to take that clip and I'm going to make that same kind of video that I just made for somebody else, and I'm going to send it to them. And I'm going to say, hey, these are people that want to learn how to do that, and I feel pretty confident because I've done everything I'm telling you to do, that I've said what I want to do, I've set goals, I've shown them that I'm authentic, I show them every single day. I think that there's a good chance that I will find somebody that built a platform where they don't get paid by consumers, but they build an audience and they're able to do what is fulfilling for them. Right. And they have a career and they earn a living. And that's what we want to do. So I want to show you how to do it, Matthew, so that you can start working on that while you're in jail. And that's one way that I can try and live up to the people who taught me of trying to be the change that I want to see in the world. Fair enough?
Yeah, fair.
Anybody else you want to learn from?
No, that's perfect.
I'll do it. I promise you I'll get you at least two. One person who got a job and got licensed. But I don't know the challenges of getting licensed with healthcare. So, and I don't know if you have the time to go to school and get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. But I can tell you the other two people, they've created their own job and they may not even have a college degree. But they're probably helping thousands or tens of thousands of people like my friend Joe Guerrero is doing with the After Prison Show.
All right.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.